Unlike many tennis directors at the time, Harry ran his tennis operation like a business and taught and expected all of us working for him to do the same. He not only had high expectations from his pros out on the tennis court, but also gave us the opportunity to learn from he and Jan on how to run a successful tennis business off the court.
But one of his greatest contributions was as president and co-founder of World Championship Tennis with his uncle Lamar, when he transformed the game of tennis from an amateur sport into a professional powerhouse that was watched by millions on network television.
Well, obviously his history here at the World of Tennis, he was the original touring pro for the club. For the longest time, the World of Tennis was kind of the mecca for professional tennis, working with Lamar Hunt. So you had most of the tour players coming through here, had big, huge events that people from Dallas and Houston would come down for the weekend, spend the weekend watching tournaments, having professional instruction, that type of thing. It was the place to be. He's always real positive, real up for people, always willing to sit and visit with people, no matter who it is. People recognize him and want to have a conversation about the past and whatever. He always makes time for that.
She has been a member of the board of directors of CATA since inception in 1989. She started to work in a part-time basis with Ben Ball in a desk at the office, in the section office. And she was instrumental to bring in the building that we have now, not only the Texas section, but also in the CATA office that we presently have. With CATA, she encourages us to continue seeking avenues to create sportsmanship, either partnership with the Positive Coaches Alliance or with articles in our newsletters, or just dealing with the parents and kids in a positive manner, and also league players. That's our main goal, try to get kids and adults just to go out on the court and have a good time, and not having to worry about winning or losing, but doing their best.
Laredo Tennis Association provides players of all abilities, ages, and socioeconomic backgrounds the opportunity to learn fitness, confidence, honesty, and build character through the life-enhancing sport of tennis. LTA provides year-round, affordable, quality tennis programs to develop new tennis players and welcome players who have abandoned the sport. LTA continues to grow tennis through strategic partnerships, community donations, annual capital campaigns, sponsorships, volunteerism, and USTA grants. Whether it's Tennis for the Blind and Visually Impaired, Childhood Cancer Tennis Warriors, Down for Tennis, or one of the many other countless programs that LTA runs, there's simply not enough time in the day to go over everything that this organization does for the Laredo community.
Many years ago, Michael Cottingham was the first person to ever receive a college wheelchair tennis scholarship. Today, Dr. Cottingham is assistant professor at the University of Houston, where he co-founded the Adaptive Athletic Student Organization due to a lack of programs for people with disabilities. The program aims to connect students with disabilities to sports programs and social interaction to help them participate in society.
Ron Woods has been a member of USPTA for 53 years. Most recently, Ron has been very active in all aspects of the Tennis Success NJTL program, with things like fundraising, tennis instruction, marketing, and even serving meals or mopping the floor when needed. Ron is still a very active member of the Corpus Christi Tennis Association, currently serving on a committee charged with advocating for a new tennis center on the south side of town. Ron has also helped to marry his passion for both organizations by organizing a dual tennis marketing event involving CCTA and the Tennis Success program at a Hooks game at Whataburger Field this past summer, promoting tennis in the community for all.
Shonda's passion for tennis crosses all levels of play and umpiring, from rover to referee and chair to lines. Shonda's play led him to be involved in officiating, and ever since he stepped into that arena, he has dedicated his life to education and growth of umpires in Texas and across the nation. Shonda helped start the evaluation and training programs for Texas Rovers. Literally, hundreds of officials have had the opportunity to learn under his leadership. Shonda also travels across the nation hosting educational workshops and clinics. From our junior challengers to the US Open, Shonda's been there, done that. He is one of Texas's most decorated and dedicated umpires.
Harold Graham is one of those volunteers that everyone would love to have in their community. Whenever he's asked to help with the project, he will ask, "When do you need it completed?" and he takes care of it. He's a volunteer coach for the St. John's JV boys team, helps with various projects during the U.S. men's clay courts, works at various Special Olympics and wheelchair programs, along with helping HTA's NJTL program. To say the least, he wears various hats in the tennis community. But isn't that what all of us need?
Jerry Mango has been the director of tennis and swim at the Corpus Christi Country Club for the past 18 years. He coordinates a very active adult and junior program, which includes 10 and under programming, the Shark Tennis Academy, adult men's and ladies groups, teams, and leagues. Jerry served as the referee for this year's USTA National Level 218s tournament and the 2020 New Year's Knockout Junior Tournament, which raised over $21,000 for the Triumph Over Kid Cancer Foundation. Jerry has served the USPTA Texas Division as its president, the executive committee for the USTA Texas section, and is currently the chairman of the league's committee.
Tennis has been a lifelong sport for Doug Caron. His father taught him as a child, and Doug continued to play for fun after college. He met his wife on a tennis court, and they taught all 7 of their children to play, spending many pleasant weekends playing family doubles. They wanted their children to have a sport that would keep them healthy and physically active as adults. All family get-togethers still include a doubles competition. Since Doug moved to Texas over 6 years ago, he's won 9 silver and bronze balls in national tournaments. Last year, Doug was ranked number 3 in the section for men's singles in the 80s division and number 1 in doubles.
Jan has promoted tennis mainly through her willingness to invite new and familiar players to participate in drills, social tennis, and USTA League tennis. While Jan played leagues and tournaments for many years, her participation greatly increased once she retired from Georgetown School District in 2014. For the last decade, Jan has played on over 80 USTA League teams, has captained or co-captained over 40 teams, been to sectionals 13 times, Little States 6 times, and nationals twice. She was a recipient of the CATA Captain of the Year Award in 2015. Jan is truly an ambassador of the sport of tennis.
Jenny Gray is a tennis professional for all the right reasons. She's dedicated to growing the sport, elevating the standards of teaching, bringing out the best in all players, and donating her time to make a difference. In her role as director of tennis at Berry Creek Country Club in Georgetown, Texas, her Rally for the Cure event raised over $10,000 for the Central Texas chapter of Susan G. Komen. In her downtime, you'll find Jenny helping PE teachers grow the game of tennis at the grassroots level. As a side note, keeping with the spirit of competition, Jenny will often challenge other tournament directors to see who can publish their tournament schedules first. But the result is always a draw.
For a busy family of 5, it can feel like life is always pulling you in many different directions. But for the Ross Cockrell family of Austin, tennis has brought them together. Both Ross and Stacy have played league tennis for years, but it is the active role in their children's tennis lives that's brought them closer. Their children, Jacqueline, James, and Ross, are all highly active and committed tennis players who've put in many long hours on the court and at tournaments. The kids have pushed each other to succeed, and they've done it with tremendous support of their friends, their community, and the Austin Tennis Academy, but none more than from their parents. The Cockrells are an outstanding example of how tennis is a sport which extends across generations, but always starts with love.
Clint Summerow was the volunteer chair and co-tournament director of the 29th annual Children Helping Children tennis tournament that was held last September at High Point Tennis Center in Plano. Having over 375 participants, Clint was able to raise over $85,000 in 2019 to support pediatric cancer research and programs at Children's Medical Center Dallas. In total, the event has raised over $3.4 million since its inception in 1991, when Clint's parents, Ken and Pam Summerow, founded the tournament after Clint was successfully treated for cancer when he was just 5 years old. The Children Helping Children tournament is now a staple in the tennis community and a perfect way to combine the Summerall family's love of tennis with the desire to help other families facing the challenge of caring for a child with cancer.
Dave Tibbetts. Dave Tibbetts. What can I say about Coach Dave? Well, to start, I'm probably supposed to be saying something nice, right? All right, give me a sec. I've been working with Dave at Westwood Country Club for, you know what, that's really gonna age me. Can we? Now you might be wondering what makes Dave such a great coach with the kids. And the answer to that is really simple. Dave himself is just a big kid himself. So when he gets out on the court with the kids, you can tell it is where he thrives. He's totally in his element. When he's out there with them, he's fun, he's funny, he's positive, he's engaging, he's energetic. He is all of that on the court with these kids. And he's also all of that when I walk in the morning between 7 and 7:30, half asleep. But the great thing, the thing you have to admire about Dave is that is how he is 7 days a week, 24 hours of the day. He's always got a smile on his face. He's friendly. He's eager to talk to you, eager to get out there and work with you. Couldn't think of a better characteristics for a teaching pro, especially with juniors. Coach Dave, on behalf of Westwood Country Club, its membership, the professional staff, we are all incredibly proud of you, and we can't imagine anyone more deserving of this award.
I couldn't think of a better, more deserving person than Kevin. I've known Kevin my whole life. I was coached by him and I worked with him, so I might be a little biased maybe. But there's so many reasons that Kevin deserves this award. He is not only an excellent coach on the court, but off the court as well. He has devoted countless hours of his own time towards helping kids both on and off the court. He has served on various volunteer boards, fundraising thousands of dollars for our community. Kevin is selfless when it comes to helping someone else out, a colleague, a coworker, friend, someone he might not even know. Kevin has devoted his life to tennis and to his club, Bentwood, of which he's now a stakeholder of. He started out as a kid playing tennis at Bentwood. He became an assistant pro here, then the director of tennis, then the manager of the entire club, and now, like I said, he is a managing partner of the club. No one I know takes on more each day than Kevin, and half of it seems to be strictly volunteer-based. But I know Kevin will tell you that his happy place is when he's out on the court coaching and working with kids and making them get better, and I know that's really important to him, and he really, really enjoys that.
My first impression of Dan was that he was a real buttoned-up guy. He was the treasurer of the USTA Texas. That was a guy who, he's an accountant, so that's the guy who put all the money in the right place. Dan and I spent quite a bit of time in the one-on-one in the hiring process of Van Barry. He and I had many meetings, many of them in the bars of the various meetings we're in, but sometimes that's where the best work gets done. What I admire most is that he's genuine. He's giving of himself and of his time, and he's just the guy you'd always want to be next to in the meeting. Well, first of all, he did spend 12 years on the management committee. That alone deserves an award. But as Dan once told me, being on management for 12 years, after you're off, it's like a precipitous fall from grace. It's like you've never been on it before. And suddenly you're not a part of it, and not so much as an attaboy after you're done. So I'd like to say, Dan, attaboy.
Ken has worked in every single facet of the tennis industry, and if he hasn't actually directly worked there, he's worked with those people and advised those individuals. He has been a coach, he's been a school teacher, he's been a tennis pro, an executive director, he's been on boards, he's on multiple halls of fame. He knows everyone, and he's such a history buff anyway. So yeah, there's nobody that could write that book the way Ken has written that book. That's for sure. there is probably no person in Texas, maybe even in the country, that is more beloved. I mean, he has that gift of being able to get along with anybody, and I think that's the most powerful tool that anybody can use. And just because getting along with people is what it's all about, whether you're on court or you're off court. And Ken was the master at that. So that already, his ability to make friends and then impart his wisdom on them in his very unassuming way, his very non-egotistical way, was just, you know, something that was quite different than some of the other tennis pros, I guess, and probably myself included. We have our egos that we work with, and Ken doesn't have that.